The Real Madrid of stars failed in its first season, and now coach Xabi Alonso will try to reshape the team. The club has made some signings for this season, and naturally, when players come in, others must leave. In this video, I'll show you the names that the Spanish press says could leave Real Madrid for the upcoming season. We'll also talk about the players who have already been confirmed to leave. Let's first quickly review Real Madrid's last season and understand what the club is doing in the market as it plans for the next one. Last season was indeed considered a failure. Real Madrid, who were La Liga and Champions League winners, had strengthened the squad with the signings of Kylian Mbappé and Endrick. However, on the pitch, the team lost the balance it had during those title-winning campaigns, especially in defense, which became much weaker. As a result, Real Madrid saw Barcelona win La Liga, were knocked out in the Champions League quarterfinals, and also watched Barcelona win the Supercopa and Copa del Rey. Overall, it was a disappointing season, far below expectations for Florentino Perez. So Real Madrid has started moving in the transfer market. They realized they needed a new center back since they had been using Tchouaméni out of position. They went and signed Ruiz from Bournemouth. They also saw the need for a new right back because Lucas Vázquez was constantly being improvised there. So they signed Alexander-Arnold. And that's not even counting Mastentuono, who hasn't arrived yet but is already signed from River Plate. He'll join Xabi Alonso's squad as soon as he turns 18. With Xabi Alonso now in charge, we can expect a Real Madrid playing with 3 center backs, 5 midfielders, and just 2 forwards, a team that values possession more than before. Let's now look at who might leave Real Madrid given the new signings and Xabi Alonso's style of play. 1. Jesus Vallejo. Let's start with a player who has already left the club, center back Jesus Vallejo. In general, he was rarely used. He spent years at Real Madrid, but was mostly either unused or loaned out to other teams. Finally, last season, Vallejo's contract expired and the club let him leave for free. He has now signed with Albacete. 2. Lucas Vázquez. Another player who left due to contract expiration is right-back winger Lucas Vázquez. At first, he was a backup attacker, but over time he was moved to right-back. Last season, he struggled, especially defensively. With his contract ending, Real Madrid decided not to renew it. Vázquez is now a free agent. 3. Luka Modrić, midfielder. Luka Modrić also left the club after his contract expired. At 39 years old, he was no longer a starter, but was still regularly used by Ancelotti. He didn't hold the same importance he once had when starting alongside Toni Kroos and Casemiro. His contract wasn't renewed, and he has already joined AC Milan in Italy. 4. David Alaba now, moving to players who might still leave this window. Austrian center-back David Alaba. He's 33 and under contract until 2026. While everyone acknowledges his quality, his physical condition has been disappointing. He's had serious knee injuries and other physical problems, and although he can play as a center back, left back, or even defensive midfielder, he's rarely fit. Toward the end of last season, he was again in the medical department. Now that Real Madrid has Rudiger, Ruisin, Raul Asensio, and Eder Militao returning, Alaba seems to be surplus to requirements. Last season, he played only 14 matches. 5. Fran Garcia. Another defender likely to leave is left-back Fran Garcia. He showed improvement during the Club World Cup, scoring goals, giving assists, and playing with more confidence. However, he's not expected to be the first or second option for the upcoming season. Real Madrid recently paid €50 million for Álvaro Carreras from Benfica, and also has Mendy recovering from injury. Fran Garcia is 25, under contract until 2027. He played 54 matches last season, scoring once and assisting 5 times. Still, he was seen as unreliable, and reports suggest Milan is interested in signing him for €20 million. 6th, Dani Ceballos. In midfield, Real Madrid is considering selling Dani Ceballos. Under Ancelotti last season, he was even a starter in some games and performed well. However, things have changed. Arda Güler is expected to get more minutes under Xabi Alonso, who used him as a starter during the Club World Cup. Tchouaméni is returning to midfield. Valverde will no longer be used at right back, and Camavinga remains in the squad. This makes the competition in midfield even tougher. Ceballos is 28 and under contract until 2027. He played 45 matches last season with 2 assists. While he is technically gifted, it's hard for him to break out of the backup role at Real Madrid. 7. Rainier. You might not even remember that Rainier still belongs to Real Madrid, but according to SofaScore, he's still on the club's roster. Since joining from Flamengo, he's been rarely used and mostly loaned out, first to Borussia Dortmund, then to clubs in Italy. Last season, he was loaned to Granada, where he made 26 appearances, scored 1 goal, and provided 4 assists. Rainier is under contract until 2026, but is completely out of the club's plans. Real Madrid is considering another loan or even a mutual contract termination. 8. Rodrygo. Now let's talk about a key player, Brazilian forward Rodrygo. He was a regular starter under Ancelotti, but it seems he's now available on the market for the next season. Rodrygo is 24 and under contract until 2028, but Xabi Alonso doesn't appear to be a big fan. He started only 1 match in the Club World Cup, the opener against Al Hilal, and was mostly benched or came on very late in other matches. Because of that, Real Madrid is reportedly open to offers for him. He's a high-value player with great market potential. The club would likely sell for 100 to 120 million euros. Clubs said to be interested include Bayern Munich, Liverpool, Arsenal, and even Barcelona, raising the possibility of a new Luis Figo-style saga. Last season, Rodrygo scored 14 goals and made 11 assists in 54 matches. He was versatile, playing on either wing or even as a false 9. But with Vini Jr. and Mbappe in the squad, it's unclear what his role will be. 9. Gonzalo Garcia. To finish, let's talk about Gonzalo Garcia, the big surprise for Real Madrid in the Club World Cup. He was promoted to the senior team after Mbappe got gastroenteritis, and Endrick was still recovering from injury. Xabi Alonso gave him a chance, and he made the most of it, scoring 4 goals and providing 1 assist in 6 matches. He played well and showed determination. However, for the rest of the season, he might be loaned out. Xabi Alonso reportedly plans to rely on Mbappe and Endrick as the main options at striker. Gonzalo is not.